you make it seem like Spaniards are great friends. But from
The
my point of
best.
view, like especially when I first got here, my point of view, it looks very fake. It looks very fake. Oh, the kisses, mwah, mwah.
You
So,
see my faces.
yeah, I see your faces, but it seems so fake. Like I'm sitting here like, okay, well, what are they after? What do you want? That's the mentality that American have. Like, what?
I have a perfect refrán for this
Okay, I
moment.
don't need to refrain. I'm gonna tell you my point now.
Todo ladrón se piensa que la gente es de su condición. The person that still thinks that like measure everybody else as a stealer, as a robber.
What?
Yeah, because you guys are fake and because American relationships overall generalizing are fake, then when you see a behavior through your eye, through your lens, you think that everybody is the same.
This is the common thing in the U.S. You do it in front of them, like, oh yeah, and then when they leave, you talk crap behind their back. But then, after being here for a while, I noticed that you guys don't talk crap behind people's back because you talk shit to their face, and I can respect that.
Yeah, this
Eh,
is why Spaniards are way better friends than Americans because we say things to your face. Like I remember in the US that people don't, if something doesn't fit you well, they don't tell you. And they're supposed to be your friends. Because whenever I see somebody that is wearing something off, I tell them, you either don't have a mirror or you don't have friends.
It's very hard because we don't make friends as easy as you guys make friends. We don't have the same avenues for making friends that you guys have. You guys have all these activities and groups, so we don't necessarily go through that. And speaking of those activities and groups, even when it's about going through with plans, like if we were to say, "Hey, you know what? Let's go to the movies next weekend, or
Let's
go
go
out
grab
for
coffee.
coffee or something like that." You guys actually see those plans through. Like
Yeah.
those plans actually happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't always happen in the U.S. We cancel plans, and
I
then
know.
and I'm a homebody, so I'm always looking for the plan to be canceled. I'm hoping the plan to get canceled. If you get me outside, cool. I'm good. I'm life of the party. But getting me outside is a thing.
There is only one reason in Spain, and of course I'm generalizing, but there's only one reason why it's okay to cancel your plans. And it's more common from Madrid to the south of Spain, I want to say, because of the weather. If it rains, you automatically know that most likely plans are going to be canceled
Why?
because it barely rains, so we're not accustomed to do things in the rain. That's why I'm saying it happens from Madrid down, because in the north it rains way more often. So people's not gonna cancel the things because it rains every other day or every single day for a period of time. But here in Madrid, for example, in Murcia, that it rains once every blue moon.
I think Murcia is very different. Like a drop of rain can flood a city over there. So
Yeah, so it's okay. Like it's completely normalized to cancel plans if it rains.
for us, when we're canceling plans, we're kind of like playing chicken in a sense of who can cancel, who's going to cancel first.
Yeah, I know the
So,
conversations.
so it's like,
So,
oh,
hey, did you get out of work already today?
yeah, exactly. Did you got to work? Oh, okay. Oh, you got to stop by mother's house? Is everything okay? If you need time, just let me know. It's all right. I just want to let you know it's all right if you need to reschedule. Like we can do it tomorrow if you want. And tomorrow's not gonna happen, but it's just so out basically.
It never happens.
And when we say we can do it tomorrow, we don't mean let's go out tomorrow. What we do is we can talk about it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But you couldn't just say, hey, I can't do this because I have to go do X, Y, and Z.
Because you can be sincere and say things how they are. Verdades como puños. I think the root of everything is the community base. Because
so?
Spain is such a community-based country that we look after each other. We need the physical contact. We need, like, look how bad
Do you make me drink my water?
we went through when the COVID times, like the fact that we couldn't just like go outside and kiss each other and see people, like that affected us way more than it could have affected the US. And I'm not saying the US didn't get affected, but
Okay, so then let me ask you a question. When are you considered a friend in Spain? Because for us, when we work, we might meet someone, and usually it's at work, and we'll talk with them, we hang out with them and everything, and then we might go to the bar with them, we might go to an event with them, and we can talk and be cool, but we won't necessarily call them our friend. We might call them an acquaintance, a co-worker, an associate, but
Yeah.
friend might not be the term that comes up.
Yeah. I mean, we have different group of friends here, but when you know that you're a friend, I think that the most telling thing is that when you're able to tell this person things like they are.
But isn't that just normal talking for you guys? So
Yes.
I don't see how that like affects anything, because if
Okay,
you
so
talk normally like that, then how does that change anything?
okay, so let's say that you and I start like we meet each other and we start talking or whatever, not as
Right, yeah.
a romantic relationship, but just as friends. And then one day I see you flirting with two girls, and I come to you and I said, I think that you're passing the line right there. Like, don't play with two girls. Like, you're better than that. Or like, tienen mucho morro. Like when I'm able to like tell you directly that you're doing something wrong, I think that that's the indicative that I consider you a friend.
I think that you guys are that direct. You would say you should be doing that. Like you would tell somebody how it is from the get go. Like if you see it, you really talking to two women at the same time? Aren't you too old for that? Aren't you too good for that? Oh, that's the kind of person you are?
Yeah, but one thing is to say it in a criticizing way, like, aren't you too old for that? Or like, are you stupid? And another thing is like, come on, like, get serious. Like, like you're my friend. Don't embarrass me, kind of
You
thing.
have a very thin line between friend and not friend.
No. Like when you care,
Our
if you
our line is
care,
like this big.
no, I know. But and you will never tell a friend over there things like that.
Only those like real friends, yes, but it's hard to find those. I can have that conversation with my friends because I'm just that kind of person. That's the way that I like my friendship. Like this is not about your feelings. It's just, what it is or how I see it, if you want my honest opinion. But I don't think that the point of where we are friends is very easy to tell. I would think it'd be a little different for men and women. A guy that lends you, or someone that lends you $20, we'll consider them a friend.
Oh, so money has to be involved.
It's not that money has to be involved, but that's a level of a friendship that I would.
No, I
that I
know,
would
but
give.
like if money is involved, you wouldn't lend €5
It's not
to
even,
somebody.
depending on the value of what I'm lending you.
See,
Kind of
because again,
dictates.
that materialistic mindset that you guys have. It's
If
like,
I lend you a pencil, you're not my friend yet. If I lend you a pen, you're not my friend yet. If I lend you some money, you're probably my friend.
okay, we hang out a lot, right? We go out for like coffees and beers and like Coca-Colas and whatever.
Sorry, speaking of that, buying a beer from somebody doesn't make me a friend.
No, of course not. You guys like, but see that like,
But that's what I'm trying to say. I can give you $20 or I can buy you a $10 drink, and one would mean that you're my friend and one would mean that you're not.
but see, we don't. So usually when we go out, especially we're with friends or even in a romantic relationship, everybody pays for their things.
Yeah, okay.
Like even when we met, remember, like we met and I pay for my things, you pay for yours, and you were like, what's going on here, right? Because in the US it's a different mentality.
Yeah.
But for us, we pay for our own things. I'm not expecting anybody to pay for me. So that doesn't mean that you're my friend. Now let's say that we're partying or whatever, and yeah, somebody might go and say, okay, I'm gonna get a round for everybody, but no, that doesn't determine.
no.
Yeah, no, that's not a determine of like, no, it just doesn't happen.
So where
but
is
what I
that?
was gonna say is that when you start including people into more continuous hangouts, that's when you start considering their friends. When you start telling them things, sharing things, whether it's about your family or your relationship, or your likes, or things that you have in common, like
Yeah, but those are all things that are like a common sense, depiction of, okay, you're my friend. I can tell you these things. What I'm trying to say is, where's the threshold? When do you notice that threshold? Because for us, it's like I'm just using this like what I
Yeah.
lend this person money
Yeah.
as a threshold, because that's not something I would think about. So if the person came to me, hey, do you got $5 I can borrow? Do you got $10 I can borrow? That would be a threshold. Like, is this someone that I would give $10 to? Or hey, can you watch this for me? Can you hold my phone? Can you watch my stuff right here? Those are like thresholds of like, who would I trust to that point? So I'm trying to say, where's that threshold for you guys of like past that?
yeah, but I think it's the so what I was trying to get to is that because you hang out more often, you're able to get into more deeper conversations. So for example, we don't necessarily make friends at work, but we do have work friends. One of my closest friends was my regional director back then. And she was my boss. So, the conversations were like X, Y, and Z. But we always like had deeper conversations. And when we both stopped working in the same company, we kept the contact. We kept hanging out. We like every time that I would come to Madrid, she will come out of her way to meet her whenever she came to New York, because she came to New York a couple of times. I got out of my way to go meet her. And like when you meet with this person, it's like time really hasn't passed necessarily, because it's like you're picking up from where you left it, and yeah, there's so many things to tell you, but we're enjoying time, and that I think that links into the forever goodbyes, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
then you don't want to let this person go.
Is that just like is that just like normal here? Is that like a woman thing? Like how you guys make friends as females?
So something that I notice is that women here, and generalizing, we have more of a sense of womanhood,
Okay.
like sisterhood. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, we're close.
So I feel like American women are way more catty.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. We are. I would think.
Like you
I would
cannot
think most
trust a
women
woman.
in general are catty,
Like it's
but
really hard to trust a woman amongst women.
I can't answer that question for you at all. Like I only can go based on what I've seen, what I've been told, and the things I've seen. Like I can agree with
Yeah.
you from what I've seen, but that's what I'm trying to say. Where's the threshold of where you make friends? Because there's a for a guy,
Yeah.
for me, and this is me personally. Growing up, most of my male friends I've had physical fights with. That's how that's how we became friends. Like we would get into a physical fight. Didn't know him for anything. Get into a physical fight. After the fight's over, we have respect for each other. We're cool. We this, and then we hang out. That's how I made. I would say 98% of my male friends. The only male friend I've had growing up, one of my best friends, Jamel. That's the only one I didn't have a physical fight with. We almost got into one, but he's the only one I never had a physical fight with. Everybody that you know of my friends, I've gotten into a physical altercation with them.
Okay, so these things are acceptable when it comes to friendship.
For guys, or for me, in the neighborhood I grew up in, like, it was a bad neighborhood. And so we were always confrontational.
So you like establish the hierarchy level.
It's not necessarily establishing the hierarchy. It's just that you're not going to punk or try to push over on me, or I'm not going to try to. And someone's not going to allow me to do that to them. So we clash, but then at the same time we respect each other. Yeah. We both stand on our ground. We stand on our business, and that was it. And we can be cool because I have an understanding of you now, and we laugh at it. Like today, like me and Irvin didn't like each other for nothing. Like when we met. He was playing basketball, I was playing basketball. We had competition with everything. So we collided a lot. Today, he's one of my great friends. We talk about everything. But if you met us, the very first times that we met each other, you would think these people are going to kill each other. That's how we were. But for me, this is just a guy thing, though.
See, but so that's a guy thing. I haven't, obviously, I'm not a guy. But I have seen, friends like from my school group. Like the guys' friend, we were like girls and guys all friends, and then you see the guys all being friends, and yeah, they will play sports and they will probably fight and then push themselves, push each other or like curse each other out. But getting into a fight to then become friends,
no,
that wasn't like a part of we have to go through this in order to become friends. Now things that were acceptable is to get really deep into each other's business. You know, like when you're opinionating about something and you're like, oh, get out of my business, or that's none of your business. You're a friend when you're getting into somebody else's business.
So what makes things, like, for instance, what is the things that are acceptable as a friend? Because now I think there'd be like a hierarchy.
Getting into their business. Being frank and honest into their face.
Okay.
Even some cursing out is acceptable, but when it comes from the heart.
Okay, because there's levels to friendships, right?
Yes.
There's different hierarchies to friendship. So personally, growing up with my male friends, there are friends that I can be cool with. There's friends I can tell the truth with, and then there's friends I can joke with in a certain way that I can't joke with others.
Well, you establish the limits with every friendship, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When do you know that certain things are acceptable for you guys? Because I
guess you're testing the waters, and as you go approve, like if I say a burrada to you, and then you answer me with another burrada, now we know that, we can extend the limit because we're telling like stupid shit to each other. But there's not a conversation of, okay, now we're gonna be friends, and now I get to call you.
We obviously have friends that I'm cool with, that we play video games with, we can hang out, we can talk and all that. And then I had my closer knit group, and I know this is a very, very deep thing, but like we can talk about sleeping with each other's mothers. And in a very funny.
But then you don't want to make jokes about your mama.
No, hear me out. This is a close knit group. This is it. And it's not necessarily saying bad things about your mama or anything like that. It's just like like I'll tell Jamel to tell his mom, hey, make sure my underwear is ironed before I get home, or have dinner ready before I get home. It's stuff like that we were saying. Like we're the man of their house, basically.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily talking negative about their mother, but hey, tell I'll be home at 9 and don't wait up for me or whatever. That's the kind of stuff we would say to each other, and we always make those jokes or whatnot. But that was the level of things that was acceptable for my close crew.
And we're talking about like growing up and making friends as you're growing up, which is
Right.
completely different as
Making
making
friends as
friends as an
adults.
adult, right? Making friends as an adult is really hard. But one of the good things about having a community sense society is that you can easily make friends if you join a community. So based on what you like, you can find people that have similar thought process, which by the way, I'm sorry, but this brings me to a saying that we have, which is Dios los cría y ellos se juntan. So God raised you and they find each other, or they get together by themselves.
Okay.
Again, it's easier in a way to make friends through a community because we do things as a community and then we expand that into something else. If you think about that, it also brings you to the loyalty and the lifelong bond. Yes, it's easier to have them when you grow up with these people, right? Like, and I think that loyalty that we have here of like, if you become my friend, and you ask, like that stupid meme that if you ask me to go and bury a body and don't ask me questions, I think that we keep it to
See.
the end. Like
I don't.
we are loyal like that.
I can't say that we talk a good game in the U.S. We talk a really good game about friendship in the U.S. But when push comes to shove, there are very few people that can stand on business when it comes down to that. And the way you guys keep connected is amazing to me because I had a couple of people I knew, and all of my really good friends today, I only can talk with maybe 2 of them. I only consistently talk with 1 of them.
And what is my case?
You talk with them almost like every other day or every day for the most part.
With
And
so many
many
friends.
people. And I'm kind of jealous of that. I'll be honest, I'm jealous of that because I don't have friends I can just call them and, hey, you want to go get a drink or go get some food? I forgot you guys said go get a drink, so that's why I'm adding that into my
We
repertoire
go say,
now.
let's go drink something, but it could be a coffee. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. I think that for most Spanish people, true friendship, has a very high priority list in all your things to do. While in the US, it's nice to have friends. You want to have friends to go hang out and do things. But if you have to evaluate and to prioritize things, friendship might not be the first, the second, or even the third priority in your life.
No, for us, it'll be family, work, maybe religion. Also, maybe religion. That's what I mean. Like when we have that thing about, if I call a friend, hey, no questions asked, I need you to help me bury a body. How many of those friends will go through it? An American friend would get close to doing it. I'm just talking about average. There are other American friends that will help you bury a body. We're leading in serial killers, so there's obviously that. But they might help you carry the body, might help you drive it off somewhere or whatever, and all that. But can you trust them to keep the secret? Can you trust them not to tell nobody what they just did?
Or that if they get upset at you, they will get back at you.
Exactly, that they won't get back at you?
Yeah. I think that the difference with like Spaniards, they will help you dig the hole and everything, but they will tell you the fuck you were thinking about. Like, what are you doing?
They're gonna curse you out the entire time.
They will curse you out and they'll tell you did something wrong and what the heck? Like, what are you thinking? Okay, I'm here for you, but like seriously, like.
And then complain about, look at my, I'm digging in this dirt. My
you better buy me a beer after this. Let's go grab a couple of beers and talk about this.
To see all this of how you guys interact with each other just makes me rethink friendship in the U.S. and rethinks how my standard for friendship now.
Yeah. Now, one of the things in Spain, to me, that I want to cover is things that a Spanish or Spaniards will say to their friends that Americans might not say. Okay. First of all, because they're obviously like kind of sayings that we have, but also because I don't think that you have the face. You say that? To have the face to say something?
You say the balls, but go ahead.
Okay. To have the balls to say. Let's say that we're friends, right? And we're talking about something and you're telling me that you're going to do something that is out of your character, or you're daring to do something, or you fell in love with this guy, but this guy has a lot of like red flags.
Hey.
Oh, guy, girl, whatever. I will tell you, luego no vengas llorando.
What?
Luego no vengas llorando.
Later, don't come crying?
Yes, because I already told you so. I told you that guy has a lot of red flags. why are you going there? I told you not to get that job. That job seems like a dangerous job, or like that they're gonna take advantage, and you're still gonna go do it. Okay, go ahead. I support you, but then don't
We
come
do
back down
tell that to
crying.
people. We do. We have, like, I told you so, or whatever, or don't come crying to me. That's a saying that we
See,
have. Yeah, we have that.
okay, now
Yeah,
it's
we have
wrong.
that.
I can
But
be wrong
it's
every now and
funny.
then.
But to be honest with you, it's funny that you say that about me and the guy or whatever. I had a lot of great gay friends,
Okay,
and the reason why is because they were always very honest with me, straight to my face.
wonderful.
When we and I go clubbing and everything, when we went out, if I didn't look good, they sent me home.
Good.
So
That's a good friend.
yeah, those listen, gay people in New York City, best friends ever.
Yeah.
And I can find people with those kind of personalities that I enjoy, and they would be the ones to tell me how that sentence go.
Luego no vengas llorando.
Yeah,
Now the other one that I want to say is.
there's another one. There's always another
There's
one.
always another one. Eso te pasa por gilipollas.
Oh no! Don't be a silly dick. What?
No, eso te pasa por gilipollas.
This is for?
That happens to you because you're a gilipollas. So that's a way of saying that karma will get to you in a way.
That's a way of saying karma will get to you?
Yes, because this happened to you because you're an asshole, because you're a dickhead, because you did something that now is coming back to you. So karma. Eso te pasa por gilipollas.
Yeah, that's way better. That's still way better than what my grandmother told me.
Oh, yes. Please enlighten us. Even though you're going to have to beep it out on YouTube.
When I think I was 9, either 9 or 10, my grandmother called me to her and she goes, "Hey, stupid, come here." She's like, in life, you can either be an asshole or a dick. Always be a dick, because an asshole gets fucked. And this is a 9-year-old hearing this, and I'm like, okay. And that's it.
From your grandmother.
From my grandmother.
Your grandmother might have some Spanish blood. I actually really enjoy your grandmother. She's really nice.